Okay, guys, so we are recording, as I said there, for anyone who is not on tonight. So tonight, as I said, thank you all for logging on again. Tonight, as I said, is going to be a follow-on from last week, really. Last week, obviously, hopefully you've watched the recording if you didn't manage to get online. Which was basically my journey, really from kind of January last year right the way through to manager, the highs, the lows, everything in between. It seemed to be quite helpful for quite a lot of you, which is great. And that's why I thought this week what I'm going to do is kind of do the same, stay on the same kind of lines really, but turn it around on yourself. So obviously that was my journey. So I want you all guys to kind of have a little look at your journey, how far you've come since you've started, anything that you've potentially faced, and then really, where you are now in your business, and then obviously where you are going, this year. So the training tonight, as I said, you might want your pens and paper. There's quite a few questions that I'm going to kind of put out there, really. So feel free to kind of write them down, have your notebook at the ready, because it's something that I think you can look on after tonight and maybe sort of, spend a bit of time on in your own time, answering the questions a little bit deeper into whether or not you're doing everything that you need to do in your business to achieve the goal that you want. So tonight, obviously, to be successful in my forever business, what should I be doing? That's the question that you guys really need to ask yourself. And I actually did this today. I actually put this together only this afternoon. I've been planning it for a week, really. And as I was doing it, I was actually asking myself these questions. So I don't think it's a case of, no matter where you are in the business, it doesn't matter if you're retailing, you've just started, you're going for manager, you've been with the business 6-7 months. It's completely irrelevant. It's really kind of looking at what you want out of your business, and are you doing the right activity to be successful. So that's kind of the question that I would like you all to kind of write down, really have a little think about in terms of yourself and your business at the moment. So to be successful in my forever business, what should I be doing? So basically last week we touched on this. I'm not going to go into this too much tonight again, because we know this, but just to recap on it, what should you be doing to be successful, whether or not, again, you are retailing or recruiting or going for manager, whatever you're doing, the 4 basic steps. Just put my phone on silent, apologies for that. What should you be doing is the 4 steps that are on the screen there. So you've got use the products, which we know. So be a product of the product. We've got share the products and the benefits. So basically making sure that we're using them ourselves, we're sharing them with other people, we're sharing the benefits through personal stories. Also sharing the business opportunity that we have to offer, see if it interests anybody else. And then once we do have a team, we're coaching others to do the same. So the 4 basic steps before we go into anything else, that's what we should be doing every single day with consistency. It's that simple. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Many people in this team over the last kind of year or so of my business, since they've joined me and started their business, have done things that haven't necessarily worked. I tried a few things last February, March that didn't pay off, and I thought, I don't know why I'm doing that. It doesn't work. There's no point in trying to be clever with business. You don't need to be. It's all there for you. It's laid out. It's the First Step to Manager book that I talk about all the time. Follow that book, do the basic steps that you've got there, and the business will work. It's a proven model. We've been going actually 37 years in May, and it's worked from day one. And it's still working. So again, like I say, you don't need to be clever to do the business, even though John says I look clever in my glasses. You've just got to be somebody who's willing to have a passion behind the business and the products, and share it with other people. And either that's on a product point of view, or obviously from the side of recruiting and building a team. So the next question for you all, you might want to write this down and have a little think about it as well in your own mind. What am I trying to achieve? So this is where you need to look in your business at your journey so far and think about your goals, your why, and you need to be specific on the reasons that you are doing this business. So why did you join Forever? Why did you buy that box? Why did you look at the opportunity, get excited, and basically get involved? What was it that made you think, I'm going to do this? Now, in the First Steps to Manager book at the beginning, I think it's like the second page, you've got your goals, you've got the space to write your goals, and it talks about personal, family, and business goals. Now, I've had quite a few planning meetings with people this month, so basically to kick off 2015, and it's quite interesting to see some people who've been in the business a while who have kind of not really looked at those pages since they started their business. And this is where you'll always find that very quickly you will lose your focus if you don't have your focus on that goal that you joined the business for. So we talk about it a lot. I talk about your why, I talk about being connected to it, but you need to have a goal in all of those three areas, because that's what's going to keep your focus. You need to think about what you want personally. So forget about anybody else. Think about you. What do you want? If you had more time or you had more money in your personal life, what would you do? What do you want? Your family, obviously your partner, your children, potentially maybe your parents, anything like that. You need to be thinking about your goals and your why in terms of your family and your family's future. And then your business goals. Lots and lots and lots of people start this business and say, I want £2,000 a month. I want manager. I want chairman's bonus check. I'd love to have a car on car plan. It doesn't quite fit the bill, which is why I've put at the top there, you need to be specific. So, we've talked about it before. I know a lot of you have probably watched trainings on YouTube and different things like that and been to some of the success days, but you need to be specific on your goals. It's all very well kind of saying, I want more time, I want a family holiday once a year, and I want manager. That's not specific enough. What you'll find after a few months is you'll lose your focus. And if you get a bad day or a bad week or a bad month in your business, it's very, very hard to come back from unless your goals are specific. Also, what's important when you think about what you're trying to achieve in this business is to think about it in terms of three separate areas. You need to think about short term. So look at your journey so far. When did you start? Did you set a 3 to 6 month goal when you started your business? If you're 3 to 6 months into your business, have you achieved it? If you haven't, is that because you wanted to go a little bit slower, and that's fine? Or if you haven't, is it because you maybe haven't put in as much activity as you know you should have done, or maybe that you wanted to, which means that goal's not being achieved? Maybe you have achieved it and you're moving on to the midterm, which is kind of that 12-month mark in your business. If you've been doing it 6-7 months, and maybe you're looking at summer this year. You need to have these goals set with terms. So you've got your 3 to 6 month term, you've got your 12 months, which is your midterm of your business, and then your long term, which is 3 to 5 years. So, for example, when I got serious about this business, I set my 5-month plan to manager, which was basically for me to be earning that full-time income and to be able to say, I can be my own boss, I can work from home, I can do what I want, when I want, where I want, with who I want. And I achieved that in pretty much kind of 5-6 months really from getting serious. So I achieved that. My 12-month goal was from the very the 5th of January last year, and I kind of said I want to be in a position where potentially I'm in a house and I've just kind of got the business off to a great place, and I've got people that I want to be coaching to manager, to be helped to be doing what it is that I wanted to do. 12 months on is now, and I've got my house, I've got my car, I've got my own boss, I've got my office, and I've got obviously a growing team with lots of people who want success and want manager. And then, to give you an example on my 3 to 5 year goal, I want to have a big house in the country, for example. I want kind of a 6-7 bedroom house in the next 3 to 5 years. And I also want a little place in the sun that I can kind of go to when the weather's not very nice in the UK, and take my family to. So that's kind of, something that I've set, and I've had those goals from January 2014. So last January I set them, and I've pretty much smashed 2 of them already. And I've even thought longer term and said that I want to be retired by the age of 40, which I'll always work this business because I love it, and I'm a little bit of a workaholic. But I know that when I'm 40, I'll be able to sit back if I want to. So I'm thinking even more long term. When you set longer term goals, it means you're in this business for the long haul. It means that when you get bad days, when you get tough weeks, when you get months where you think, oh my God, that was a struggle, it doesn't actually ever make you think that you're going to quit. It never makes you think, oh, I'm done, I can't do it, because you're too focused on the goals that you've set, which is why your goals have to have a deadline. You have to have a deadline. It's all right kind of going August and just picking August out and going, want manager in August. Yeah, brilliant. If you don't have a plan behind your deadline, you're very unlikely to achieve it. So that's the next thing that we come on to in a minute. But what are you trying to achieve? Absolutely, Jackie. You need to be able to see it. When I wrote down my my kind of long-term goal, and I'd be happy to share this with any of you in a planning meeting one-to-one, but my kind of country house, I've got it written down and very specifically written to what the front of the house looks like, what the door is, what I see when I walk in the house, what the drive is like, how many bedrooms it's got, what the kitchen is set out like, how my garden looks. I have literally written down what I want. And in 3 to 5 years, I will have that because it's in my head and it's visually there. And then that's where we obviously use the dream board and the vision board to look at what it is that we want to achieve. And it's going to make you a lot more likely to achieve that goal. So it's really looking at yourself here and looking at what you're trying to achieve. So following on from my journey last week, this is really about you tonight, guys, and kind of thinking, what are you in this business for? Have you set your goals? Are you driven to do that? Do you have a deadline? And are those goals specific? I think it comes into a lot of law of attraction, which obviously, Jackie kind of talks about a lot. And I know that quite a lot of us do in the team now. And I think that's a huge area of believe it and achieve it, which is certainly true. And I was just going to say that on FLP 360, you can actually go onto Pinterest now, I think, can't you? And you can actually do your own kind of vision boards and your own dream boards on Pinterest, which is fab. I've actually just started doing mine this week. It's just being realistic, and the more clear your goals are, guys, the more likely you are to kind of keep the business going through the bad times as well, because it won't always be easy. You must have a driving force that motivates you. Obviously, that's your why. So you've got your goals all in place, but it's kind of looking at your why as well, and your driving force. What's going to get you out of bed in the morning? What's going to make you go to bed an hour later at night? I kind of say to a lot of people that I work this business part-time hours for much more than a full-time income. I'd be lying if I said that I did part-time hours all the time. Some days I do, but a lot of the days I don't, because that's my choice. Because I've got something that motivates me to pretty much 5 nights a week, makes me, continue to work onto this business till 8, 9 o'clock every single night, if not later. And that's after I've been working on it all day. And that's my choice. But it's because I've got a big enough why, a big enough goal, and I know what I'm in this business to achieve. And I know that if I work hard, the business will give me everything that I want. And if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough, which is what I've said from day one of my journey. I had a meeting recently with somebody who kind of was like, oh, I don't feel like I can, really get emotional about my goal. And I said, well, then you need to go away and spend some time on your goal, because if you can't get emotional about your goal, it's probably not going to be the driving force that you need to make you go out and do the activity. So that's quite a big one. So I hope you've all made a few notes on there, really. Maybe look at your journey so far, look at where you're at in terms of your business so far and where you're going moving forward. 4CC, why should I do it? We know why we should do 4CC. We know why we talk about this. There's lots of you who did it this month, which is fabulous. There's obviously the extra training tomorrow night with Ange Lockram, which I'm certainly looking forward to. And you're only on that if you've done your 4CC. So again, there's lots of reasons to do it, but even little incentives that pop up like that, you don't want to be missing out on things like that from someone who's just, in 4 years is turning over £25,000 per month. It's ridiculous. This is top training from people that, are achieving it. So what a massive incentive. Why should we do it in terms of our business and in terms of why we get involved? It's the business building discipline. It's the only thing that Forever asks us to do. Obviously, nothing happens if we don't do it. No one's going to, chop our hands off and tell us that we've got to leave forever. But it certainly is something that we need to be kind of, very, very conscious of that when we join the business, the one thing that the company asks is for us to say, you know, right, okay, I'll do my 4cc because that's what I've got to do if I want Forever to work for me. It creates immediate retail income. So you're at 30% commission basically straight away. So anything that you retail in regards to, you know, starting your business, you're getting in your hand. And that's obviously when you're looking at 4cc, that means you're retailing, you know, £159 of your wholesale income times by 4, because that's per cc, or £227 that you're getting 30% commission on, which is your RRP, or your retail price, so what your customers pay, which is 227. So basically you're earning money straight away if you're working towards your 4cc. You're also getting your recruiting income when you're doing your 4cc. Every time you bring somebody into your business, you will get paid if they join you with an NDP, which is what we call your sponsoring bonus. Again, you can find more information about this in your First Steps to Manager book. But what it basically means with the 4cc is that when you sponsor somebody into your business, you get so much of it paid into your bank account during the month. And then the rest of that sponsoring bonus you get if you get your 4cc on the 15th of the following month. If you do not do your 4cc, you will not get paid the full amount for sponsoring. So again, why would you go and get yourself £20 when you could get yourself £39 if you're an assistant supervisor, because you do 4cc and you get the whole sponsoring bonus paid to you. You've also got the added bonus as well. So wherever you are in the marketing plan, you've got 5%, 8%, 13% or 18%, which is paid back to you again on the 15th of every month. And that is basically for doing your 4cc. So if you're a assistant supervisor, you get 5% back. Supervisor is 8%, assistant manager is 13%, and manager is 18%. That should be a huge incentive to potentially build your business, whether it's to one level or to the top level. You know, like I've mentioned to a few of you before, and, you know, I'll say it again, I'm at a position now at 18% of manager, and if I don't do my 4cc, and this is without my 30% commission, I could lose out on approximately £2,500 per month at the moment. That is absolutely massive, as if I would never, ever, ever miss my 4cc. Exactly. So this is what I'm saying, and I'm saying this to people recently, and I'm realising that I probably need to share these things with you guys, because that's the reality of the 4cc. The quicker you practice your 4cc, the more likely you are going to be making sure that you do it every single month, because then when you build your business, what at the moment might be £40, £50 that you miss out on if you don't do your 4cc, 6 months from now could be £2,000. It's a lot of money, guys. So 4cc is imperative that you do that to start getting paid on your business. And on that as well, and this is really, really important to stress, because I mentioned it to someone last week and they didn't quite understand that. And I thought I need to share this with you all. When you get this bonus back, guys, it's paid on all your personal retail sales that you have put through your business that month. Okay. Now, that basically means that whatever you've put through that you've purchased at wholesale value, you're getting paid on the retail value. So, for example, to break that down really, really simply, we have 1cc that at wholesale value is £159, like I said before, and the customer pays, for example, for a cc, £227. That difference is what you get paid in your bonus. So you're making even more money because you're paid your bonus on the retail value, even though you've only purchased it at the wholesale value. So that's something to kind of stress as well, to be aware of, that you're actually getting even more money back as long as your 4cc is done. And then again, of course, your 4cc, those of you who are now supervisor, I think I've got 5 supervisors in the team so far, which is fabulous. In fact, I think maybe another one's about to break in the next 3 days. Very exciting. It basically means that when you get to the level of supervisor, which is only one position up from where a lot of you are now, that you are starting to earn off your team. So when you get the 4cc and you get to supervisor, that's the difference then of somebody, for example, now being a supervisor and not doing their 4cc. And what happens is, if that person is my frontline, I get paid on all of their team. So for example, to throw it out there, you know, we've got Deb, we've got Becky, we've got Mandy, we've got Emma, and we've got Kat at the moment within this team who are all supervisors. If any of those have got people in their team that they're coaching and they don't do their 4cc one month, I get paid that bonus, which is all very nice, but I don't want to get paid that bonus. I actually want you guys to get it, because that's building your business. So that's important to remember as well, you know, which is where I was saying before with my 18% as a manager. If you don't do your 4cc, you lose out on that extra bonus. So I know you guys know why 4cc is so important, but I just want to kind of touch on that again and say, look, for those of you who kind of might need to relook at that, there's so many reasons behind doing that 4cc that are just massive. You know, and like I say there underneath it, achieve 4cc and more, because we know 4cc is not the minimum, it's the maximum. Each month, personally yourself, and then you teach your team to do the same. You'll soon become a manager. That's all I've done for 1 year. I've done 4cc myself every single month for 12 months. And then I have basic, actually 14 months. And then I've actually just coached everybody in my team to do the same. Not everyone does it, granted. Some people drop off, some people can't be bothered. It's the reality, it's life. It's kind of very, very sad, because, you know, the opportunity is there and some people don't grab it, but what can you do? But if you're coaching the right people and the right people want to come with you and do 4cc a month, you're going to get to manager very, very quickly, or, you know, at whatever level you want, depending on how quickly you recruit your team members. And quite simply there, guys, make 4cc a habit. We talk about habits. We know from our mindset trainings that a habit takes 21 days to make, and it takes 1 day to break. This is something that's kind of followed on in the next couple of slides. But with habits, it's really about saying, you know, if you do something for 21 days, you will continue to do it. So if you do your 4cc in a month, you shouldn't then never not be doing 4cc again, because you've got the habit. So don't break it by then, you know, finding that 3 months down the line you kind of go, oh, I just don't know what happened this month. Whereas you have to look at yourself and think, I probably didn't do enough activity, which means that I've broken my habit. And then it will take you a month to get that habit back. So really, really, really concentrate on that 4cc. Oh, bless you. I didn't realise you were on the call, Mandy. I didn't realise you got on. Glad you got on. So, oh, bless you. Good for you. Hope you're okay. Yeah, and that's exactly what Mandy's just said there, which is, again, you know, really, really honest. Always do your 4cc. You know, Mandy will tell you herself, I'm sure she had a great start to a business. Things happen, things change. And, you know, there was a lot of time last year where, you know, we didn't kind of have what we expected to kind of happen, which it happens. It's a shame we have bad months, but it's a learning curve. But what it's done for Mandy, you know, there is just kind of made her go, that's it now, never again. And she, like I said last week, you know, there's been more happening in Mandy's business this month than there has been for a long time. So you can pick it up, but obviously you can avoid being there. It's always going to be a bonus for yourself. So where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Again, guys, feel free to write these down, go away, make notes. I'm not going to ask you to share this with anybody, but it's very good for yourself to look at this. Again, it's in your first steps to manage your book, so I know that you've all got this. But I just want to have a little look at it. So brilliant, Katie, after manager. Fantastic. So there you go, manager. This is really, 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 really a very, very simple breakdown, and gives you a bit of a bird's eye view in on what you can expect. So there you go, 15% commission. We know that. We didn't need a distributor. It's not where we should be looking at. We should start with an NDP, which is the second one, but I put it up there to show you which we know about. Assistant supervisor, we start with an NDP. It gets us to 2cc, as we know, on the marketing plan, and it gets us at 30% commission. We also are eligible at this level for our 5% bonus. And then every time we recruit somebody with an NDP, we are paid £39. Supervisor, 30% commission. It always stays the same. Then we get 8% bonus, which again is our sales. So on our personal sales that I mentioned before, the 5% goes to 8% when you are supervisor. This is where you start to get paid on your team. So you get a 3% team leading bonus. Anybody who's a supervisor is now earning on their team. Massive incentive to keep building your business at this level, because you're starting to see the money. You're starting to see the CCs grow from your team. And then realistically, if you continue to recruit at this level, if you choose to, then what you'll find is that your team will grow, your CCs will grow, and of course, your income will grow, which means you'll move up the marketing plan. So at supervisor, you've got £45 for every assistant supervisor that you recruit with an NDP. And you're looking at that level of about £250 per month. Now, you know, that's a nice little top up on an income. A lot of people just join the business for that, but then kind of get addicted, which is kind of where I started, because I didn't know what I was in the business for. But then after 2 months, saw what was on offer and just kind of grabbed it. So assistant manager, this is a really, really pivotal, I can't even say the word, pivotal, that's the one, place for you to get to. Again, you've got your commission, but what happens here is your bonus goes up to 13%, which is massive. 13% you're being paid on your personal retail sales that you're putting through your business each month. You then start to get a bigger team leading bonus, so you start to get between 5 and 8% paid on your team. You get £54 paid for every assistant supervisor that joins you. So again, everyone that joins you with an NDP. And you're looking at this level at £600 per month plus. Now, a lot of people will join the business and kind of go, oh, I wouldn't mind, you know, a good 500, 600 quid a month. That'd sort me out. When you get to assistant manager, you'd be absolutely mad to sit there. You kind of need to keep going to manager, because it makes perfect sense, because manager, like Katie's just put after manager, you can see in a second, you know, what is achievable after that level. So manager, 30% commission, 18% bonus. As I mentioned before, I don't do my 4cc and I lose out on a hell of a lot of money. 5 to 13% team leading bonus. So you're building up a lot more income on your team there. Your team has obviously grown, so you're coaching, which is why we get paid more for coaching more people. You've got £64 for everyone that you bring in with an NDP at that level. And then you're looking at earning £800 to £2,000 per month. This again is where typically you can say, right, I'm done, I'm sacking the boss, I'm leaving my job, I'm being my own boss, and I'm working from home and not answering to anybody else again. I said to someone last week, actually, that I have to pinch myself every morning that I wake up. I can't believe that I'm at a position where I don't have to answer to anybody. And I had a one-to-one last week, and a lady said to me, she's actually joining the business, so you'll all get to meet her soon, but she actually said, I don't understand it. Do you not have someone breathing down your neck and giving you targets? And I said, no. And she went, but I don't understand how you can be your own boss from home. She couldn't get her head around the fact that, you know, I do my own thing. And it just made me come home and think, I am pretty damn lucky. But I don't say lucky in the fact that I fell there. I always say the harder you work, the luckier you get. I've worked very, very hard, so it makes me very lucky. That's an income where you can be your own boss, and it's priceless. And after manager, of course, you've got the amazing incentives. So you've got 100 Club, you've got Eagle Manager, you can get Car Plan, you can get Global Rally, and you can get Chairman's Bonus. You just have a lot chasing you. Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's exactly what it is. You've got a lot of people that want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. And that's where the beauty of the business really starts, because people realise the kind of life you've got, and that's where people want it to. So it does definitely pay off. I know, I thought that's what you meant. But that's what I was going to say. As well as the outside people, you've also got people in your team who, for example, myself, you know, I went manager last May. I've worked on my business. I've worked on myself. I've worked on my coaching. And I think there comes a point when you can, I think, kind of say to people, this is what I'm achieving. And it does. It makes you look at, you know, whether or not you want to go there. And it's certainly where I was when I was doing trainings with Sarah Skinner back in sort of March last year, thinking I want what she's got. You know, I'm actually joining the gym when I get my February bonus, and I'm actually going to go and join the gym, and I'm going to go off peak because I can. For me, that's massive. That's massive. You know, and this is exactly what I'm saying. I can't believe that at 32 years old I can go and join a gym and do it off peak whenever I want. I never thought that would happen. That's a big thing for me. So that's kind of a goal. That's quite a personal goal. Join the gym, do it off peak. Oh my God, I can go in there when it's quiet. I can go for a swim. I can go in the sauna. Anyway, I'm digressing. But you see my point. You can do what you want when you want. And just to give you guys a pretty honest view on my business, to kind of look at where you want to be on this page. I've been doing this business for 1 year, as you all know, from when I got serious. So last January, I kind of went, right, that's it now. I want to go to manager. I want the incentives. 12 months on, I had a Skype this morning with Sarah Skidder, who obviously is my upline. Now, I'm quite independent in my business. I don't Skype Sarah very often. I plan out everything myself because I know this business now and I spend a lot of time learning about it. But I Skyped her today and she said, where are you at? And I literally said to her, I've planned out 100 Club, Eagle Manager, Car Plan, Global Rally, and I've also worked out when I'm going to pick up my chairman's bonus check. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you've done that. And then we broke it all down and she went, yep, brilliant. It's all possible. Now, this is because I can see over the last few months since going manager and learning so much since then about myself, my team, the business, the company, the products, everything, it's all possible. And if I can look, guys, after 12 months at smashing every incentive, obviously the low end of the incentives, I'm not quite, you know, on the top level yet, but literally looking at all the incentives that we do and getting on the first rung of the ladder of those incentives after 12 months, that's pretty much, I think, something to kind of to work for. And I think you guys would probably agree. 12 months on from now, you guys can all achieve that. 100%. So write down where you want to be on there. Write it down on your paper. Again, you've not got to share it. Obviously, if you feel like sharing it, please do. We've had a couple of people say manager, after manager. You know, even if you're at the moment thinking, oh, I might just retail for a few months, or that's absolutely fine. But don't ever rule out what this business will offer you, because you've got positions there and incentives that will just change your life. Next question for yourselves. Manager, car plan, I sacked the boss. Well, you'll do that. You'll do that on the date that we've got Monday, which is a few months down the line. So you're on track 100% already at the moment. What do I have to do to get there? The next question for yourselves. You've looked at what it is that you can have. You've decided what it is that you want. What have you got to do? It's this simple. Again, we know it. And again, it seems like I'm repeating myself, but every slide is broken down into what we do. So we retail, we recruit, and we coach. That is all we do. That is all we do on a daily basis to get where we want to be. Our business is network marketing. It's amazing the amount of people that do this business for sort of 3, 6, 7 months and then go, so what? Oh, it's called network marketing. I'm amazed. And I'm not saying anyone in this team, but it's just a standard to kind of go, this is what we do. It's network marketing. And a lot of people don't understand network marketing. A lot of people put a black mark against network marketing, which is a real shame, because I never had heard of network marketing until 14 months ago. And for me, I've done my research and I've been doing this business, and it's the best profession in the world. And network marketing actually creates more millionaires than any other industry in the world. So you're in the right place, guys. You know, it's just about sticking with it and keep moving forward and keep working your business, because it will pay off. I can tell you 100%, if you keep moving forward, it will pay off. Simply, what do we do in network marketing? We find a network and we market to it. And that is as simple as it is. And that just means talking to people. So that's all we do. And obviously, if you find that in the business, one of your fears is talking to people, my polite comment would be to that, you need to kind of get over it. And that's said in the nicest possible way, because all of you are capable of this business and all of you are doing amazing at this business. But it's often a deep fear that people have about going up and maybe doing that cold market conversation or contact marketing, and it comes with time, and there's no secret to it. It's just the more you do it, the better you get. I certainly messed up quite a lot in my early days of contact marketing. As a lot of you know, I just rambled about aloe vera for 20 minutes and then thought, oh my God, I need the ground to swallow me up because I don't know what I've just talked about. But you learn, and the more confident you get in talking to people, the better your business is going to be, because you're learning to network market, successfully, and become a professional network marketer. This is quite important, this little comment. I've just put this down there because I feel like, yeah, exactly what Katie's just said there. This is exactly where I'm going with it at the bottom. This is really about looking at your market and who you speak to. And like Katie just said there, the cold market soon become warm. And Deb's just put, love this statement. I did this. I actually heard this for the first time last March, and it has stuck with me all that time. And I think about this quite a lot. Now, I've never really had any massive issues with my warm market being rude, or I know some people, like I think Mandy, I think you had a bit of an area with this, didn't you, with your warm market? And you can't predict whether or not you're going to get this when you start the business. But I personally would agree with exactly what Jackie's just said there. I love cold marketing, contact marketing, because for me, it's building relationships. And obviously that comes with whether you're not a confident person. And then if you have the fear, then it's about reading those books, Feel the Fear, Compound Effect, all these kind of things that you can use to motivate and get confidence in yourself to be able to then go out and do it. And it just comes with time. And the more you do it, the better you get. If your warm market, though, is not so responsive to you, then this is the biggest tip that I can give you that I heard in March last year. And it blew me away. And I thought, that is got to be used so much. And I don't think I've really probably used it in team trainings before, but it's come up a lot at the moment because a lot of you are looking to recruit. If your warm market gives you the cold shoulder, start a cold conversation with a warm stranger. I think that's brilliant. I just think that says it all. Warm markets can be great, but I also think you've got to be careful with warm markets because you get that little bit of sympathy vote, which I don't want that. I don't want sympathy. And you also can get with your warm market that whole sort of like that approach to you that's like, oh, bless her, yeah, good luck. It's not very genuine. And sometimes if some of your warm market join your team, what you'll find is it's very hard to be very honest with those people. So sometimes it's kind of a case of going cold market and actually saying, well, I'm going to go and find new people. And then these people will join my business because they catch the vision and they see the opportunity, even though they don't know me. So that's quite a big thing. Don't get me wrong, I've got some great warm markets in my team, but I've also got, quite a lot of cold markets that I've met from absolute scratch. I mean, even though Mandy, we worked together years ago, I hadn't spoken to Mandy for years when I contacted her about the business. So she was kind of cold market, really, in effect, because we hadn't spoken for a long, long time. But yeah, just get out there, speak to new people. And that is really saying to yourselves, guys, what do I have to do to get there? What have you got to do? Whatever you want to achieve, it still works on the same plan, whether it's 4cc a month or whether it's chairman's bonus. Retail, recruit and coach. Go out and talk to people. And yes, I love that, Katie. It's so true. And that just comes with building relationships. You build a relationship, you will see it grow. And when you build a relationship, you will see them look at your business or your products or refer to you, or it's just the way the business works. Where do I start? That could be a question for yourself now. You could be thinking to yourself, where do I start? Right, okay, so I go and speak to people. Where do I go with this? Your who do you know list. Again, I just have to push the fact that I talk about this all the time, and I think I always will, because it's really, really great when someone starts their business and goes, oh, I'm going to go and speak to them, I'm going to speak to them, I'm going to speak to them. And they're on a high and they're buzzing and they've got loads of people interested and they do 4cc and they're like, oh, what a great month, bring on the next one. And then what happens, and this is me being deadly honest with everybody on this call and everybody who listens to the call after tonight's, with the recording, you will hit a wall at some point if you do not have a who do you know list and you are not working it properly. And I say it because I've seen it. And there's people in the team who would agree with me because they've done it or not done it, as the case may be. Your who do you know list is your database. It is your pipeline. It is the backbone of your business, and it's how you keep track. And that is keeping track of what you're doing, who you're speaking to, when you speak to them, what you speak to them about, what the outcome is from that conversation or email or Facebook message or whatever you choose to speak to them about. You need to be tracking the results. If you are not working your business right now, guys, and this is really serious, from a who do you know list, you need to get one ASAP. It's no good having a few names on a piece of paper and going, oh yeah, I've been contacting them this week, because I guarantee you down the line you'll stop. And I will say quite honestly, and you know, certain people know who they are and it's a learning curve, but I've had more planning meetings this month than I've had in the last few months, and I've really put a lot of time into you guys as my team because I want you all to massively achieve this year. But I'm sitting down with a lot of people, and I'm amazed at how many people who've been in the business a long time that aren't working their who do you know list. And maybe that's my fault to a point for not asking to see it more in planning meetings, but it's people that generally are not using it correctly. And if you don't use it, you will hit a wall. At some point in your business, you will hit a wall. And I've seen it time and time and time again. And that's in 1 year. And I'm sure I'll see it a hell of a lot more in this business, in my journey. And I'm sure you guys will see it in yours. And that's absolutely right, Deb. You know, Eric Worre, I think it's another video that he put this morning. I watch his videos every day. He puts a new one on every day or every 2 days on his Facebook. You know, that kind of adding to that list every day, like you've just said, 2 new names a day is 600 people a year. Now, that 5 to 10 people that we will come on to in a second, 2 to 5, 5 to 10, I say. I think 2, we can all do more than 2. 5 to 10 people a day that we speak to. Some might be follow-ups, some might be, you know, customer query or anything like that. But I always make 2 of those, 2 to 3 are always brand new every single day. Every single day, because that means that my Who Do You Know List book is growing every day. And obviously I keep following up with the other people, but what I do is I make sure that I'm adding people to it. And then what happens here is it means you never run out of people to speak to. And again, 2 people recently in planning meetings have said to me, what happens when you've got nobody left on your pipeline to speak to? And I said, if that ever happens, you're not working your business correctly. And that is the truth, because your business works and your pipeline should never, ever, ever run out. And that's dependent on you in terms of who you're speaking to and how you're working your business. So you need to write down everyone that you know, everyone. And again, I think Deb was a great example of this. We wrote down everybody that she knew. And then what happened is you sat there, didn't you, with the memory jogger in the back of the First Steps to Manager book, Deb, and you wrote down like another 2 or 3 pages of names just one day when you thought about it and it just came to you. So, you know, it really is quite interesting to sort of just, you know, on the next line to see that I found out recently by reading a book. Did you know that by the age of 18, we all know approximately 500 people by name? And I think that just says it all. So when you've got somebody who joins your team who goes, I don't know many people, you need to be there as their coach going, rubbish, you do, because we all do. And exactly, do it for 5, yeah, there you go, 5 years, 6 days a week, 3,000 a year, perfect. When you start looking at the figures and you look at how many people you speak to, you should never, ever, ever, ever get to the end of that list, never. Yeah, an extra 100, brilliant. So there you go. And that memory jog is great as well, guys, for kind of making you think, you know, have I thought of anybody? You might just see something there like a painter or a plumber or something and think, oh my God, actually, I do know somebody. And remember, it might be somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. So it might not be you. It might be the fact that there's somebody in your kind of circle of friends that knows somebody else. So never, ever rule out the whole referral process as well, which I'll come on to in a second. How many people do you have on your Facebook? I had a planning meeting a couple of months ago with somebody who said, I've only got about 200 friends. I'm not really a big confident person, but I love the idea of the business. When I went on their Facebook, they had 647 friends. Now, that's somebody who goes, I don't really know many people. If you've got that many people on your Facebook, you do know a lot of people. Now, don't get me wrong, not everybody on your Facebook might be ideal for the business. Maybe not everybody on the Facebook you want to contact. But you know what I've done? And this is just me. I've gone back over my Facebook since I started this business. And if they are negative, draining people, I remove them, because I just think, I'm not like that. I've never really have been, but more so since this business, I'm positive, I'm driven, I'm motivated, and those are the kind of people that I want in my life. You've got to surround yourself by the people that you want to be around, and I've got rid of a lot of people on my Facebook that potentially, yeah, do you know what? They could have bought an NDP, they could have joined my team, they could have scraped £200 together, but I don't want to work with them because they're not motivated, they're lazy, and they moan and they find excuses, and they're not the people that I want in this team. So, you know, it's being realistic about your life, your Facebook, your who do you know list, and really your contacts. You know, so you've got to look at what you've got around you, and really kind of play to those strengths and get people, you know, to kind of like grab up, you know, what it is that you've got your hands on, and then have them have a little look at it as well, but make sure they're the right kind of people that you want to work with. And at the bottom, I've just added that as another tool, really, guys. I've mentioned this to a lot of you, and I know that you can use your neckheads. Just saw that myself. It's very funny. And I love that. Radiators, not trains. I might have to use that somewhere. I like that, Deb. It's brilliant. So also use a customer book. Obviously, you've got your FLP 360 where I think Deb's into this. I need to actually get my head in it properly. But you can do a lot of you know, tracking people on there. You can put your customers on there. You can put your prospects on there. You can really kind of track everyone that you're speaking to day in, day out, really, on your FLP 360. But I would always say that it's a good idea to have it written in front of you. I don't think you can go wrong by having a little book, because sometimes just to pull out a book or to jot a note down, for me, I think you know, it's something that's great for yourself, but it's also great when you sit down in planning meetings with either your upline or your downline, because it's duplicatable, which is what it needs to be. You know, you need to be able to pass down this business, and they need to be able to follow what it is that you do. And if they're not computer literate or whatever, they might find that it's too hard for them to comprehend, and then they won't do it. So that's a big reason as well. So your who do you know list, make sure you've got it happening, being used every single day, and that you've got a customer book as well. So yeah, FLP 360, like Deb says, but also having your book to hand as well is really, really important. Following the simple cycle with all of that information so far, speaking to people, where do you want to be on the business plan, what you're going for, what you're doing, how you're going to do it. The simple cycle with those 4 steps right at the beginning. We use your who do you know list. That's all we do. We contact people on it. We show them either a business presentation, or we invite them to a business presentation. So either your local BP, or alternatively your you know, you'll sit down over a coffee and do it on a face-to-face, one-to-one. Then you take action. That is the wheel, guys, that's taken out of your first steps to manage a book. Those 4 points that I've put there is the cycle that I mentioned to you all in last week's training, to print out and to get it on your wall or your whiteboard or on your fridge or your mirror or whatever, somewhere that you look at every single day, and you know that you're working your way around that cycle. And I will say, as much as she's absolutely flying way ahead of me, the only difference between Ange Lochran and me is that she's been around that cycle a lot more than I have. Because I work this business hard and I work this business right. But I've been doing it a year. You know, I might not be the Emma Cooper that's gone there in whatever time. I don't want to be. I want to do this business in my way. So I never, ever, ever look at anybody else's journey. But what I do is I make sure that I work the business correctly, and I do the cycle every single day. So you're using your who do you know list. You're contacting people however you want to. So face-to-face, email, text, Facebook, phone call, meeting over a coffee, whatever you want. You show them a BP, you invite them to a BP. Then if they like what they see, you take action. And that could be taking action, guys, with a product or the business. This cycle works whether you are retailing or recruiting, because you're still going to use your who do you know list. You're still going to contact people about the products if they suffer with a health condition or whatever. You're still going to show them a product, or you might invite them to a product launch. And then if they like it, your taking action would be selling them a product or giving them more information about a product. So retailing or recruiting, the cycle works exactly the same way. Work this cycle every single day from the start of your journey. You'll see the magic happen and you'll see your business grow. Couple of little tips at the bottom there just to mention in terms of contacting people, because this is really important and I feel like this gets lost a little bit sometimes. I've touched on this more recently, I think, with people in planning meetings, and it seems to be having quite a big effect. But you need to be profiling people before you contact them. So you need to be making sure that you are using the profile sheet in your First Steps to Manager book, or you can print the profile sheet off of Forever Knowledge. And you basically need to be writing down a little bit of information about that person. So you need to tailor your messages, your emails, your conversations, your phone calls, whatever you do to that person. So you need to tailor it to that individual. You need to find their hot button. So are they somebody who's always wanted to be their own boss? Are they somebody who has got 2 children, who has said to you for the last 3 years, God, I just don't want to keep having to leave my little ones. I hate going to work and leaving them. Find their hot button. Find what it is that's going to show them what Forever can do for them. You need to know your objective. So why are you speaking to them? Are you speaking to them because you know they've got a health condition and you want to help them? Are you speaking to them because you know they've done every single diet under the sun and you want to say, look, you need to try a C9 and the FIT program because it's incredible? You need to know the reason that you're speaking to these people. And this is a massive tip, guys. Please write this down. Less is more. It's really easy, and I've done it, so trust me, I know, on Facebook to go back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Oh, it's Forever Living. Oh, how much is that? £200 to get started. Oh, I can't afford that. But it's really worth it. Yeah, but it's not, I can't afford it right now. I've done it myself, and it just goes back and forward, and the work, this is kind of really, really bad, and this has been a massive learning curve for me over the last sort of 6, 7, 8 months, because you could be losing a perfectly good prospect by not meeting them sooner. So having the conversations, doing the back and forward is great, you know, giving them a little bit of information, almost dangling the carrot and saying, I really want to meet you for a coffee and tell you more. If they're not local, do you know what? Let's get on a Skype and let me tell you more over a Skype. Even get them on the phone and let them hear your voice and let them hear the enthusiasm and the excitement and the passion in your voice. When I speak to people about this business, they say, God, you love it, don't you? Absolutely. They can't get that over Facebook, because it's just like, it's a message, it's flat on the screen. So the biggest advice I'd give you guys there really is from my experience in terms of contacting people and setting up either, you know, information with them about a product or the business. You need to be saying to somebody quite quickly, you know, let me tell you more, or let me show you more. Because when you've got somebody in front of you and you are really, really kind of showing them what the business has to offer, it works. It works. And what's Emma put? You spoke to me on the phone and I was sold. Oh, bless you. And that was January last year. So I just started recruiting as well. I think you were my second recruit, Emma. Second or third recruit, I think, in my business. Yeah, that's quite mad. That's quite mad to hear that. Bless you. So, yeah, and I remember Emma going, oh, God, you love it, don't you? And I was like, yeah, do you know what? It's amazing. It'll offer you the world. And I didn't have a manager. I think I got £41 in January. I think in the December I had something like £36. So I had £36 and I was speaking to people like Emma and Mandy. Marie was the same. I met Marie for a coffee. But I spoke to Emma and Mandy on the phone. I did. I didn't even have a Skype with you guys. I was just on the phone, wasn't I, having a chat, going, oh my God, it's so great. You guys should get involved. You'd be great. You'd love it. But it worked. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. The excitement on the phone, the excitement in your voice, the passion, your body language, all the rest of it. And the tip I often use with people, guys, is I say, it's a really, really visual business. So I can tell you more this way, or I can meet you. Yeah, I can meet you for a coffee. I can meet you here. I can tell you more. What have you put, Jackie? I got what? Inbode. Bode. Is that meant to be inboxed? I thought so. Make me laugh. Inboxed. And actually, I'm going to just touch on this because that's the prime example. Inboxed. I met Jackie when I met Deb. that it was Jackie that kept saying to me, I'll have a party for you. I'll have a party for you. Did she ever? Are you on the wheel? That's hilarious. That's cracking up. Oh, don't, because I can't stop laughing. When you do this, I can't stop. Right, okay. So, oh, God, that is very funny. I need to come round, Jackie. I want to go. Be hilarious. But yeah, what I'm saying, concentrate. Jackie kept saying to me, I'll have you a party, I'll have you a party, I'll have you a party. And I was like, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I messaged Jackie for a flipping party about 7 times over the space of about 6 months. Every time she was like, no, 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 you're all right. No, not this month. No, I don't want a party. No. And I kept thinking, if I could just get in front of her and I could just show her, it would be massive. But it wasn't the right time. And exactly as she's just said, I was too busy. The time has to be right for someone to look at the business and be willing to listen to you talk about either the business or the products. But I spoke to Deb, we got Deb in the team, and then obviously Deb was, best friends with Jackie, and then from there it was a case of Jackie went, oh my God, I see what I can have, let's do this, and it went from there. But that the kind of whole thing I'm saying with that really is as a great example though that Jackie's just brought up, is it's about getting in front of the person, because even though the timing is not right, you've got something that you can show to somebody, and when it's shown visually, even if the timing isn't right, or like Jackie said there, she still hesitated, you've opened people's eyes to something that they can have, and it might still be a no, they might not go for it, but why would you not share what it is that you've got, because it might be for them. Do you know what I mean? And look where we are now, a year on, we've got Deb, we've got Jackie, and then obviously Deb's got Katie, and we've got a great little team there. So it's just kind of massive to show you guys that if you're visual and you're talking about the business and showing people on a face-to-face or over a Skype, you're going to get a lot more success from your business. Right, guys, write these down if you will. What other ways can I meet people? I'm having a few planning meetings again at the moment, and people are saying, well, I've sent my 10 a day on Facebook, and I've got a put basket out at the moment. Right, okay. And then I say, well, what else are you doing? What else have we got happening at the moment? What else have we got going on in your business? Now, these are people that, potentially might struggle to do 4cc. Nobody, and I mean this, nobody should struggle to do 4cc. Nobody. Unless you are not doing the activity. And that is the be all and end all of this business. 4cc is not hard if you do the activity. That's it. It works. The business works. But it's how many of these you guys are doing. And I think you have to be honest. And the reason why I've put all these in questions, can I give an example of generating you? Yeah, absolutely, Deb. Do you want me to unmute you? It would be nice to hear from somebody, actually. Bear with me. Let me find you. Oh, God, I've got to figure out how to do this. I'm not unmuted anyone yet. How do I unmute you? It's funny. Oh!
Can you hear me now?
I can, yeah. Go for it. Sorry. I'm still learning with my GoToMeeting.
I just unmuted it myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah. It's just a very, very quick one. I was sat having lunch with my mum yesterday, and I was in this really nice cafe, and I tweeted to the cafe about how nice the food was and copied the chef's tweeting because it was advertised on the menu. When I got in that night, 4 new people had followed me, and that wasn't even intentional. So now I'm in conversation with them. These are people that I never would have met, but they took an interest in the fact that I took an interest in somewhere where they go for lunch. And I just think it's so easy to connect like that. Do you know what I mean? People, that they were people that I've never met before, and I just wanted to share with you because it showed me how easy it was to do.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's brilliant that for Deb. Thank you very much. I think it's just showing, like Deb's just said there. I think what we need to do, and this is why we say with this business, it's about not looking at it as a job, because then you sort of clock on, clock off, and that's not how it works. You've done that having lunch. Do you know what I mean? It was just very much easy to kind of have the conversation, do what you're doing, get in on your Twitter, and look what's come from it. It's brilliant. So yeah, no, thank you very much for that, Deb. Thank you for giving an example. And I think over the next coming weeks, because we're getting more confident as a team, I really want to start having you guys speaking a lot more and sharing stories for your confidence, but also for us as a team to get lots of information on each other and share sort of tips and things. So thank you for that. Done it with your childhood butchers. See what I mean? You just don't know. Just don't know. But this is where I think it is looking at how many of these you do, because what some people do is, like Mandy just put up there, phone calls. That's not something that you did for a long time, is it, Mandy? It's not something that I think it's an area a lot of people freak out at, actually picking up that phone. Mandy, you've just got into a place now where you don't care. You call anyone, which is fabulous. You just kind of go, oh well, they said no, next. And that is how you need to be. And again, it's a confidence, it's practice, and you'll just keep going. But I think what I'm trying to say here with this is that it's just making sure that you're doing a little bit of everything. Is the best way I can put this, because like I say, I spoke to someone last week and it was a case of like, I'm doing my 10 a day on Facebook, which is great. I do exactly the same. But then it's a case of, well, what else have we got? I've got to put basket out. Well, what else have we got? If I look at this, I probably would say that in my sort of business, I do all of these all the time. I'm always face-to-face conversations, and that's kind of your warm market. Yeah, it's amazing, Mandy, where you're at now. I mean, last week she rang me up and she was just kind of going, right, who do I speak to? I'm going to ring a salon. What do I say? And then I think you messaged me half an hour later saying you've got a salon and a dog groomers. And then what else did you say? Oh, you had a one-to-one with your British gas man or something crazy. Brilliant. It's brilliant. That's what I'm saying. You just got to get to that point where you just don't care anymore what people think. And the sooner you get that, the easier this business will be. Really? How mad is that? See, British gas man. Who wants to be working in, you know what I mean? Exactly. Perfect. Brilliant. Well done. I'll catch up with you on that one. So, really? 10,000 followers. Get a bit of that. I've given my card actually to Mandy and the gas man. I've given my card to the FedEx man. He's warm, but I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter, It doesn't matter, Mandy. It actually it's recorded, so I could send him a copy of the recording. No, I won't. So yeah, face to face, social media. I'm doing it all the time. Facebook. I'm always dropping emails and texts to random people that I find emails, or I go through my phone every now and then. I think, oh, I'm not going to do it for a while. I do that. Phone calls is a massive confidence thing, like I said there, and Mandy's, really, really, really stepped up with those calls, and I'm really proud of you, because you have just literally picked the phone up and you don't care anymore, and what it's having is a massive effect on your business. How many one-to-ones have you had this month, Mandy? Just share with everyone how many one-to-ones you've had this month. 8. Massive, incredible. I've only had 5. Amazing. And how many? 4 more this weekend. Look at that. Amazing. This is my point. This is what I'm saying. And this is, if I can be honest, Mandy, this is, Jackie, you don't need tips. You just need to get out and do it, because it's all here for you. It's all here. This is all we need to do. Do the basics. Get up, make the calls, have the conversations. And anyway, Jackie, you've got a massive kind of, character in you, so you can get out and do that 100%. But do you know what, it is interesting, and if I can say this to you, Mandy, you also 2 things. You connected with your why, and that's why you do it, which is what I always say. And the second thing is, and you've said it yourself, that you have started taking on the coaching that I've been giving to you for a year, because it doesn't matter how many times I say it. It's about you kind of doing what it is that you need to do. So you know, it's about listening to that coaching and kind of going, it's all there for me, I need to do it. And I've seen you listening, I've seen you take it on, I've seen you put the coaching that I've given you into practice this month, and look at the results. It's incredible. It's incredible. You've done amazing, and you will get manager in the month that we planned it, 100%. So, oh, bless you. No worries, Kerry. We'll speak to you soon, and it's recorded anyway, so I can give you the recording in this tomorrow. But thank you for coming on. Yeah, phone calls. So basically, I'm going to go through this because we're skipping on. I've got a couple more slides, and then we're almost done. So, where did I get to there? Phone calls. Yep, get the confidence, make the phone calls, get out there and do it. Flyering. I want to give you an example of flyering. Or the flyers are everywhere. They're on QLS, they're on the pages. You can buy them on Forever Living, the web store. You can do whatever you want, guys. You can buy these from all sorts of places. But what happens with flyering is that a lot of people don't do it because it's like, oh, where do I leave flyers? Again, it's no secret. They go absolutely everywhere. You can give them to face. You can put them on a reception desk. You can ask a little newsagent to pop them in the window. It really is up to you. I put a flyer into a local newsagent's near me 2 weeks ago, and I put it up. This is a true story. It was 2 weeks that I had it up for. It was being taken down on the 27th of January. I got a text message on the 26th of January off a lady who'd seen my flyer in the newsagents. She had got my number off it. She sent me a text message. She basically said to me, I'm interested in hearing more. I met her for a one-to-one on the 28th, so a couple of days ago now. Yesterday, day before, the 27th, sorry. And we had a great one-to-one, and she's basically gone away to think about business. She messaged me this morning. She's going to do it. She's really excited. She can't wait to get started. I've sent her over the distributor form, the application, and she's completing it on Saturday morning, and she's going to order her NDP. That is from a flyer in my local newsagents, and then a one-to-one, and that's what's happened. So, do you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. Like, have you all got flyers out? Have you got flyers in your local shops, your local newsagents? Within 2 weeks of me putting a flyer in the window, I've had a one-to-one, and I've got a sign-up coming on Saturday morning with an NDP. So it's just kind of really, really important to get out there. Where do I get the flyers? You can get them from QLS, or you can also get them from the web store. I would say QLS at the moment because there's a few on Facebook floating around, but QLS is great, Katie. If you go on to QLS, you can get the What's Your Dream flyers, or you can get the Mum flyers. They're saying you've already got What's Your Dream. Maybe you have. No. Okay, so What's Your Dream? If you go on QLS and then go under stationery, and then you'll find them there. And just on that, guys, as well, just a final little tip on the flyering. I paid £43 for 500 flyers, and they were delivered to my door, so that included delivery, so £43. I've got one lady who has popped up, had a one-to-one, is joining with an NDP. Not only, obviously, will she, hopefully build the business, but also, on top of that, every time I recruit somebody, because I'm at manager level, I get £64. So I've just made £64 on helping a lady start a business, and that was with one flyer, and I paid £43 for 500 flyers. So it's really looking at, your business and thinking, is it worth putting in for what you get out? So it's just huge. Put baskets and boxes, we know they work. We should be sending out put baskets or boxes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was actually thinking about it today, and I just thought, hang on a minute, I get £64 for that lady who's going to join me on Saturday with an NDP, and that's one flyer, and I've just paid £43 for 500 flyers. So, and I've still got about, I'm looking at my desk now, probably about another 300 here. I've given out about 200 in the last few weeks. So who knows? You have to give a lot of flyers out to get something back. But that's just something that's come back, and that's created more income than what the flyers cost me, and I've still got 200 flyers left, so it's huge. Put baskets and boxes, get them out. We should be sending out 2 put baskets or boxes a week, so we should be getting 8 out a month, which is massive. That should result you in retail 100%, if not recruits. Contact marketing, again, we know how it works. We give somebody a compliment. We might be out looking for numbers, wanting to share the business while we're shopping. We might be in a restaurant and we want to say, you know, you've given me great service tonight. You're really, really bubbly. I'd love someone like you in my team. Can I leave you my number? Should we swap details? Let me tell you a little bit more when the time's right for both of us. Again, there's tips and tricks that I can help you guys with on that. But contact marketing, guys, it's just a confidence thing. Again, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Networking events, local areas. This is massive for confidence building. I've just booked one for February the 12th in Manchester City Centre. I'm quite excited, actually. It's at the very, very posh hotel in Manchester City Centre. And it's cost me £10.50. And it's 2.5 hours of networking, completely out and about. And also I've got lunch and drinks in there as well. So for £10.50, I'm basically getting a little social afternoon where it might result in, you know, customers, recruits, or it might just be a great place to network and share the business opportunity. So networking events, guys, are massive. Cost you like a tenner to get in. It's nothing. So think about that as well. Parties or launches. I'll come on to that in 1 second, Jackie. Parties or launches are massive. We should be having parties or launches every single month. We have a launch when we start our business. Why we stop, I don't know. I don't understand it. We need to be having something one a month, ideally. And obviously, you're not going to invite the same 15 people around to your house every month for the whole year of your business, but you can go out and about. You can see who will have a party for you. Get yourself into a local salon. Get a pamper evening. You know, parties or launches, a few people that will sit and listen for sort of 30, 40 minutes to you talk about products. You will get sales. I can pretty much guarantee it. You might even get recruits. Events or stalls. Jackie's mentioned Stall Finder. You need to be looking for stalls and events at your, you know, local area. Go on Stall Finder, see what's about. You guys know I went into my local scout group a couple of weeks ago, and I had a little stall with about 20 mums in this tiny scout group. I've got 2 one-to-ones from it in February, and I also made nearly a case credit of sales. That was a little scout hut that I didn't pay for. I just saw it and thought, oh, opportunity. Popped in there and look what happened. It's massive. Customers, product to business. The reason why I've put this is you might have some customers who may not have been offered the business. I mentioned did a little video on this in the team page a couple of weeks ago. Guys, make sure you're mentioning to your customers about the business opportunity. It's often the case, and I've heard it, and I've got people in my team who were customers for Forever Distributors for a while. They never got offered the business, and then I've gone in there with the business and they've joined my team, and Kat is one of them. So it's, I think Kat had 4 or 5, just 2, Katie, just 2, hun, almost done. So yeah, basically, you know, offer the business to your customers. Referrals are massive. Make sure you're speaking to your customers about referrals. Make sure that your customers, if they're not looking at the business but they're loving the products, can they refer you to someone that they know? Also, ask people for referrals. If they say the business isn't for them, can you then say to them, well, do you know anybody who it is for? Referrals can be absolutely huge, so don't ever let a no be a no. Make sure you ask them for anyone else that they know. And adverts, it might be in your local newspaper, it might be in your local magazine, it might be again in a shop window or in a you know, whatever you've got in your local area. What I will say just quickly on these, all of these on this slide, guys, you need to be doing a little bit of all of them all the time. It's no good picking 1, 2, 3 and then thinking, right, I want to get 4cc and I want to get to manager on that. I do all of these all the time because it means that it's keeping your options open. And like I've said, network marketing, market yourself people by people. You guys know that I say that. We know it works. We know it is true. Last couple of slides very quickly before we finish off. How do I make it all happen? The question to yourself. You know what you've got to do. You know, how do you make it all happen? You plan your diary. You've got a 7-day plan. You need to make sure that you're sitting down. I say every Sunday is the best day of the week to sit down and look at your business. You need to be time smart. You need to time manage yourself. It's key. You know, just to throw out an example very quickly there again, Mandy, you know, sorry to keep bringing you up, Mandy, but the change that you've had since you've been managing your time from 6 months ago is massive, because what you're doing now is you're still working a lot of hours, but you're actually fitting in the business because you're doing it properly and you're looking at where you can manage your time and fit in a little bit of forever, which is paying off. Ensure your activity is CC producing. Make sure it's income producing. Don't be busy being busy. Yeah, and absolutely always fit in family time. But if you time manage properly, you'll get time for business and pleasure. So it shouldn't be that this business takes over your life. Don't be busy being busy. It's really easy to sit on Facebook all day and think, what have I even done? Make sure you've got income producing and CC producing activity happening. And track your activity. Point sheet. I mentioned the point sheet at every opportunity. I know for a fact there's people still not using it. I don't know why. I really don't. There's people who want manager who aren't using this point sheet. It keeps you on track and it makes you look at where you're going, how you can improve, and what you need to do better and what you need to kind of change and work on. So it's on the team page. Please download it. Please use it if you're serious about your business, because the point sheet works. And keep focused on your goals. Stay connected to your why. Know your deadlines. You need to have a sense of urgency. You need to be on it with, you know, a plan of when you're going to do it, why you're going to do it. You need to have urgency behind your plan. And you need to never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. Quite simply here, break it down. Again, you might not have time to write this all down if you're flying Katie in a second, but please do get these down, guys. This is what should be happening. I've missed something off weekly because I wasn't able to fit it on, so I'll add this. So if you can jot these down so you've got them, or you can rewatch the recording. Guys, these need to be happening. I've tried to make this as simple as possible for you. Daily, what should you be doing every single day? Contacting 5 to 10 people, popping up a Facebook post. You guys have seen how I use my Facebook. It works. It's got me 3 more one-to-ones next week. You know, you've got to be clever. People want image. People want to do what you do, like we said before. So make sure that you are putting out there what you have in your life, because people want it. Use the products. I think I use about 30 products a day. Keep track of your CCs. Know what's happening daily. What are you doing? Break down your CCs into weeks, into days, so you know what you're looking to achieve. Make sure you know your team CCs, what they're doing, where they're going, where they're up to. Weekly, 7-day plan on a Sunday. CC. And you need to make sure that your activity check-in. So check your CCs weekly. Check your activity. Are you where you need to be? If you're not, relook at it for the next 7 days and put in a stronger plan that's going to work. Catch up with your upline. Make sure your upline knows what's happening. We need to know what's going on. It's really, really important that I know where you guys are at, so I can coach you properly and where in your business. Also, coach your downline. Make sure your downline know what you're doing. Make sure you know what they're doing. And you need to be volume mapping every single week as well. You need to make sure that you are re-looking at your CCs every week and putting a new plan in place for the week that's coming. The only other thing on weekly that I would have said there is 2 put boxes going out per week. I couldn't fit it on and I thought, must add that, and then I forgot. So weekly, 2 put boxes need to go out. Monthly, you need to be 4 CC active minimum a month. We know that. Ideally 1 party a month. You need to do an event a month. You need to have 1 CC of personal sales, personal order going through. And every single month, you must take time to reassess yourself, your team, your goal, and your CCs. And then on top of that, obviously, you've got your incentives and all the rest of it. So where are you in your business, and where are your team in their business? This is what this business is. It doesn't happen by luck or by chance. You've got to know what your business is doing. And consistently stay focused. Look for opportunities everywhere. We've mentioned Deb and Katie's story tonight. You need to make sure that you're looking for opportunities everywhere that you go. And then you need to be excited, enthusiastic, motivated. You need to follow up all the time. And you need to have fun with this business as well, guys. Make sure that you're always having fun at every opportunity. And then the last 2 slides now, wrapping it all up. What do I need to remember? You need to remember that it won't be easy. It's not easy. It's not an easy journey. There's going to be no's along the way. There's going to be tough days. There'll be days that you think you can't do it. There'll be times that you do feel like giving up and thinking, I can't do it anymore. You need to remember that it won't happen overnight. And you need to remember that it's not a job, it's a way of life. So it's not about clocking on or clocking off. You fit this business in to the nooks and crannies of your life, and you're time smart with it. It's not hard work, but I need to work hard, and it won't be easy, but it will be worth it. So that's just really, really important to remember that. So never, ever, ever give up. And you need to remember your why as well. So you just keep going all the time. And then finally, the last slide, and this is the reality of this business. And after 1 year, I can see that this is an absolute possibility already for me. So really, really get this in your head, guys. Again, you might want to write it somewhere. You might want to put it on a fridge or whatever it is that you want to do. But working hard in forever for 2 to 5 years means that you'll never work a day in your life again, which for me is absolutely huge to say. That in a job, I don't think that's a possibility. You just can't, after 5 years, come out of that and kind of really take your foot off the gas and kind of sit back a little bit and go, what an amazing lifestyle I've got. What an incredible income I've got. You know, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. It's very, very rare, and Forever will give you that if you want it. So I hope that has given you all a little bit of an insight into your own journeys, I suppose, and made you think a little bit about where you're at in Forever, your journey kind of so far, and then where your journey's going, you know, when you're sort of looking at moving forward, potentially recruiting, whether or not you're just retailing. I hope it's given you a little bit more of a focus on what, you know, what you're sort of in this business for, and then obviously looking at your activity and looking at whether or not you think you're doing enough to achieve the goals that you want as well. Has anyone got any questions at all before we kind of wrap this up? Has everyone found that kind of helpful? Has it made you think about a few bits and pieces for yourselves? Yeah. Okay, no worries at all. Fab. Good. I hope it's just made just to give you a little bit of a, like I say, a thought process on your journey really, and make you look at where you're at, guys. So you're all doing amazing. You're all, you know, fantastic. There are 2 days left of the month, which is really not long, but keep going, keep squeezing it in. And I will speak to you all tomorrow. And don't forget, guys, if you've done your 4cc, you will be sent the link from me. Probably tomorrow morning now, and it's 8 till 9 tomorrow night, and it's Angie's training, which is going to be amazing and probably going to give us all a little bit of a kick up the arse, which is probably what we need sometimes. So tomorrow, 8 till 9, I'll send you the link. Sorry, not put the recording up. I'll send you the link, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys. Good night.